Kevin, thank you. Welcome, everyone, to Sunday Night Baseball here on ESPN. It is presented by Casamigos Tequila, brought to you by those who drink it. Gorgeous night after downpour all day Saturday, forced a split doubleheader today, but a beautiful day and now night. Mr. Met woke up and said, let's play two, and that's what we're doing. Max Scherzer got the start in game one. He, of course, has 3 Cy Young awards to his credit. He looked really good, David Cohn. Breaking pitch was outstanding.
Yeah, he threw just enough fastballs to keep him honest, and the combination of curveball slider was overwhelming.
All right, David Robertson came on in relief. Ottavino wasn't great. Robertson gives up a 2-run shot to Jose Ramirez. And the Guardians had a lead until starting Marte in the bottom of the 8th continued a recent trend. Mets get big hits, big homers late in games, and they've won 4 in a row. And now they turn it over to another 3-time Cy Young Award winner, and that is Justin Verlander. Last year, they were 30 up and 17 down, and now they are just over 500, 24 and 23. Really good pitching matchup because Shane Bieber will be on the mound for the Guardians. Similar record to last year when they then went off and won 92 and lost only 70 on their way to a Central Crown. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Buster Olney is going to join us in just a bit. That's Eduardo Perez, David Cohn, and I am Carl Ravitch. Welcome. So, wow, I mean, sometimes you step into it, and we did with Verlander and Bieber, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Good pedigrees across the board. I mean, Verlander's going directly to the Hall of Fame whenever he decides that he's finished, and he's far from finished. He wants to get to 4,000 strikeouts, currently about 3,200. Just remarkable. There's only 19 people in the history of the game that have 3,000 strikeouts. And then, oh yeah, on the other side, Shane Bieber's pretty good too. 2020 Cy Young Award winner, a real craftsman, a breaking ball artist that paints his fastball.
Neither guy was particularly great in his last start. Verlander gave up 6 earned, and Bieber pitched really well about into the 4th, and then it just all fell apart. What feels like should be a good Verlander game because the Guardians do not make good solid contact. They don't hit the ball over the wall, and he feels like he's made an adjustment. So these two offenses are similar, and yet the Mets have more power.
Yeah, they have more power, and they've been showing it off late in games, and I think now they're starting to feel their mojo. They were doubting themselves early on in the season, but this week it's been an epic week for them. You look at what happened Wednesday and see the win probability on the left side. It was Pete Alonso flexing his power and muscles and was able to deliver in a big way coming back in the 10th. And then it was Francisco Paquito Lindor being able to do the same thing, but this time with a base hit. But the emotions have been there. It carried on already to this afternoon in the 8th inning with starting Marte. And now we have tonight. And the New York Mets, they're riding a high with Pete Alonso leading the way.
Certainly are. Alonso leading the major leagues in home runs. Verlander starting to make his move back towards the infield, and soon he'll be on the mound to take on Jose Ramirez and the Cleveland Guardians. It is Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN. It's presented by Casamigos Tequila. It's brought to you by those who drink it. We'll have first pitch coming up on Sunday night as Lindor reunited with his old buddy Ramirez. Guardians and Mets after this. Well, it goes without saying, proverbs have been around a long, long time. Like, good things come to those who wait. Though Terry Francona didn't have to wait too long. After 4 years in Philadelphia, he won 2 World Series rings with the Red Sox. And now he finds himself in year 11 with Cleveland, where he's as popular there as the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And if the shoe fits, wear it, like Buck Showalter has for the Yankees, the Diamondbacks, the Rangers, the Orioles, and now the Mets. Still searching for his first title. Buck and Mets fans sure hope it's better late than never. And while these two great ball minds might think alike, they lead clubs that look nothing alike. A payroll 4 times that of the Guardians, the grass, and Steve Cohen's money is greener in Queens. Just ask Francisco Lindor, who was lured for the 2-1-6 to the 7-1-8. But bigger isn't always better, and age doesn't always come before beauty. Last year, the kids from Cleveland, the youngest group in baseball, won an AL Central crown, while the Mets, baseball's oldest, had to settle for second place. So did Roy Kent. The show must go on, and while it feels like forever ago these teams won a title, over 70 years for Cleveland, approaching 40 for the Flushing faithful, there's no better time than the present. Buck Showalter after title number 1. And Terry Francona, of course, 2 World Series champion. Down to the man who's got the Midas touch. That's Buster Olney.
Thanks, Carl. Here with Andres Jimenez. You, of course, went to Cleveland in that Francisco Lindor trade. What's it like for you to be back here in Citi Field?
Special, man. It's just a special come here, 3 years later after the deal was made. And for me, it's a special, and I have great memories here.
All right, tonight you're facing future Hall of Famer Justin Verlander. What's your plan?
I try to keep it simple, try to get a good pitch to hit, and just try to keep it simple, like I say, see the ball and hit the ball.
All right, Andres. Thanks. Carl, back to you.
All right, Buster, thank you. Yeah, generally, whoever Buster talks to tends to get on base. We'll see if that happens. That deal he was talking about sent Rosario and Jimenez to the Guardians, Lindor and Carlos Carrasco here to the New York Mets. Starting lineup, it'll start out with Kwan, who does not strike out very often. Ahmed Rosario, and then Ramirez, Naylor, Andres Jimenez. Gabriel Arias gets the start at shortstop tonight. Will Brennan is in right field. Straw and Cam Gallagher, who's banged up a little bit, gets the start behind the plate.
Yeah, and it's a lineup that's designed to get on base and create havoc. They need to steal bases, put pressure on the defense.
Justin Verlander, 40 years young. 2 years, $86 million on a contract, and you take a look at some of the Cy Young type numbers he's put up, the Hall of Fame resume, 3 no-hitters, 3 Cy Young awards, and he is the 11th pitcher in baseball history to win 3. 7 guys have actually won 3. Clemens, of course, won 7. So you see the great start in Cincinnati, 7 innings, 7 Ks. He didn't allow a homer. And then 2-2 against both Detroit, and everybody's given up homers to the Rays.
Yeah, the Rays are top to bottom, the deepest lineup in the big league so far this year in terms of really just about every category or any category you want to pick, including home runs. And Justin gave up 2 in that game against the Rays. And you think about Justin Verlander, when you think about stylistically speaking, that is 7 feet off the ground. Nobody releases the ball that high. It really hasn't changed his whole career. When you think about the four-seamer and the curve, the way they work off of each other, the high-low strategy. The four-seamer goes high, the curveball goes low. You mix in a slider there somewhere in the middle as well. But from a career standpoint, a career high average height on the four-seamer this year and a career low average on the curveball down. I think he'd like to try to find somewhere in the medium range there and be able to throw strikes with his four-seamer at the top of the zone.
Yeah, and he had admitted after that last start against the Rays a little something off with his mechanics, and he's as impatient to fix it as anybody is impatient to fix it. We'll see if he made an adjustment tonight. Brett Beatty's going to be at third base tonight. Lindor is at short. McNeil was in left field to start game 1. He moves to the infield. He'll play second. And Alonso is at first. Tommy Pham's in left. Nimmo, who had a homer in game 1. Mark Hanna is in right field. And the catcher tonight, Francisco Alvarez. So we are set for the second game. Mets won game 1, 5-4. And here's Verlander's first pitch of the night. In there, strike 1 to Kwan, 93, top of the zone.